Hello and welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith. Today we have a really special unboxing for a game that I've been looking forward to for quite some time. I've had my eye on this even further back than the Kickstarter that ended on September 26th of 2015 is when this project for Gloom of Kilforth was successfully funded. Now, that isn't really a gauge in the time frame of how long this game was in production or how long it took the creator Tristan Hall to actually create the game itself. This game has actually he's been working on this game essentially for almost 10 years, if not 10 years. Now, it never looked as it does right here. The artwork on this game box is phenomenal. I don't think there's very few to none in terms of game boxes that I have that stand up to the artwork quality of this game. But the crazy thing about it is it's not all about how good a game looks. It's about how good a game plays as well. And the really cool thing about this game is that it has been in development for like that 9 to 10 year window. And because of that, the gameplay has been really flushed out. He's been playing it a lot. He's been playtesting it a lot. And the artwork was a result of a decision during the Kickstarter to actually decide to go with one artist over having multiple artists churn through his game and create art for him. So he had two choices, and he asked the community of backers, do we want to grab a handful of artists and rip through the game quickly, or do we want to have a very uniform look in our art across all the cards and the game box and everything else, the rulebook and whatnot, and just hire one artist? Although it will take a lot more time because one artist can only work so much and can only get so much done. But at the end of the day, the people, the backers that have gotten this game just even now, and I'm one of them, basically we're able to say, hey, we're okay with the extra time, let's make this thing look amazing and have one person's vision come through with it. And Tristan agreed, he went with what the people had chosen, and this is the creation. This is what he's been waiting for 10 years at least, and stuff like that. I don't know the exact number on it. He would know better, but it's in that 9 to 10 year window, and that's a pretty incredible feat to have a game on the shelf that long and then to be able to sit here and look at this product now kind of with some type of visual representation like this, because it's incredible. It's an amazing looking game. So if you take a look at the box here, the box art's phenomenal. I don't know if I think it comes off pretty good in the picture there. Sorry for the light there above me, but that is some insanely detailed art. And I mean, yes, I've got some reflection there, but as you get close, you can see how crystal clear that artwork is. There's a lot of reflection because there's obviously plastic wrap on the box. So like I said before, this game is, or was, and still is, created by Tristan Hall. It is called Gloom of Kilforth, ironically very similar to the wording of Gloomhaven and stuff like that. But, it seems like all the Gloom games are coming out these days. It also has this word underneath it. It says a Fantasy Quest game. Now, originally, I think the name of the game was actually Fantasy Quest. And I think somewhere along the line, he decided to change it. And that I don't know what that time frame was. But we are here not to talk about the box art or the box itself or the history. We want to take a look, and I want to show you guys the final product, because at the end of the day, you guys want to know whether this game is worth picking up. And so what I want to do today is not play through it, but just simply open the box and give you an idea as to what you'd expect if you pick this up retail or from Tristan himself. So let's get right into it, because I'm super excited. All right, so this is the top of the box. We've got the sides, so we'll take a quick flip here. You can see here it says Gloom of Kilforth, a Fantasy Quest game for 1 to 4 players. There's the one that I always love to see. So we can play this solo, ages 12 plus, and it's 45 minutes per player. So it plays at a relatively good clip. And of course, there's some nice artwork all the way around, so you can kind of see that. Do a little flip around. So there's art on all sides, and of course it's really shiny right now and reflective because of the sheen that's on it and the plastic wrap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over and we'll see what it says in the back. So it's got a bunch of text here that I'd like to read out to you guys. It also gives you a representation of the cards and what they kind of look like. So I'm going to read this for you, and then we'll get into it. So it says, Gloom of Kilforth. The land of Kilforth is a perilous domain filled with nefarious monsters, mysterious strangers, and treacherous locations. Throughout the land, various factions vie for power. The supposedly noble Order of the Rose, the terrifying Doom Guard, and the evil overlord Masklow, to name a few. At the heart of Kilforth is the Sprawl, a huge city where intrepid heroes begin their journey to fame and fortune. Over the coming month, a deadly gloom will descend upon Kilforth, through which the heroes must battle to prove their worth, defeat a primordial evil, and save the land from darkness. Okay, so Gloom of Kilforth is a game of high fantasy with a gothic edge, where 1 to 4 players, working individually or together, assume the roles of heroes on a journey through a dark world of magic and peril. They will visit strange places, stranger people, and defeat powerful enemies in their mission to discover mysterious artifacts and mystical spells. Each player follows their hero's tale, an epic saga from modest beginnings through to a climactic battle that will decide the fate of the world. All right, and as you can see right here on the back of the box, it has his production company, Hall or Nothing. And currently, guys, just so you know, he actually does have, if I'm not mistaken, it is still on Kickstarter. He's already begun releasing his next game, and he's been working on that one for a bit as well. And it's another card-based game, but I believe it's a 1 to 2 player game, and it's called 1066 Tears to Many Mothers, I believe. I might have mispronounced a word there, or not mispronounced, but misspoken with a word there, but you can double check that on Kickstarter, and it is still available. So if you want to go check that out, or you're interested, if this unboxing kind of piques your interest and stuff like that, and the artwork piques your interest, that similar style and substance is coming over to his next game. So feel free to check it out because it looks amazing. So the box itself contains a rule book, 25 location cards, 4 ancient cards, 4 ancient ability cards, 24 plot cards, 8 race cards, 8 class, 32 skill, 25 knight, 24 saga cards, 82 encounter cards, and 74 reward cards. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff over here talking about hero markers and tokens, tons of tokens and stuff like that. So it's very much a dice, it's very much a card and token based game. So let's just take a quick rip into it and we'll see what we're going to get. I'm going to try my best here because I really don't like tearing up boxes with knives, but we'll tear this open right now. And it's such an like the artwork in this game is so incredible. Even on just the box itself, it looks amazing. So I cannot wait to see what the cards are going to look like. Let's see. Wow. So the box, obviously, even with the wrapping paper off, has a really nice sheen to it. So you can see it. It's pretty incredible. Looks even better when the plastic wrap is off. So that's some pretty detailed artwork, I must say. Like that is about as much detail as you're going to get on a box cover. That's pretty incredible. That's pretty incredible. All right, so let's see if I can crack this thing open. We'll see what we get inside. All right, so lid is off. I'll just put that up there for now. Okay, what do we got? We have a rule book, of course. So we got a big rule book. Now it's actually fairly tall. It's exactly the same length of the box. So, but it also has the amazing artwork that's featured on the front of the box. You can see that by just kind of unfolding the whole thing like so. There you go. You get the whole gigantic picture on the back for the entire Gloom of Kilforth rulebook, which is pretty incredible. And then, of course, you got lots of reading to do. So it looks like it's about 28 pages in length. And I'm not going to go into too many of these things, but it shows you simple things like the setup. But it seems to have really good rule structure. Visual structure in terms of how you're supposed to set up. So I love stuff like that, where it just says, hey, here's how you set up right off the get-go, and then it gets you right into the steps of the game. So it's got like steps from 1 all the way through to 15 and stuff like this about the setup. So telling you how to set the game up. We're going to go over the solo setup and all of this in a playthrough video, so don't worry about it, guys. I'm not going to focus on it too much now. But the other cool thing is you also get a glimpse of some of the cards. So you can even see some of the artwork on the cards. There's a gloom side, which is shown kind of with the darker shade, and then there's the colorful normal side, right? The whole idea is that you've got all these lands sitting out here in this kind of like 5x5 grid pattern of 25 different places, and over the course of the game, they're going to fall into gloom. You're going to flip them over, and I don't know exactly what the negative side effect besides likely not being able to access that particular location, but I'll have to double check that in the rules myself. It's the first time I played it. Wow, look at this. So there's some really cool pictures. You can see how crazy the artwork is just from the rulebook itself. Mind-boggling. So anyway, I'm not going to go into too much depth on the rulebook. I'll just flip through a few pages so you get the general gist of the setup, but he's obviously filled it full of just as much amazing artwork as there is on the cards themselves. Wow, look at that. That is crazy. Jeez. And then, of course, yeah, so there's all kinds of fun stuff here. I cannot wait to dive into this. Looks good. I'll give you guys my comments on the rule book and stuff like that once I get through it and once I set up and play a few myself. Let's just talk about what else is in here. Okay, so the first thing you get, other than the rule book, is a bunch of punch tokens. So it looks like these are all stand for gold. Of course, now I'm kind of on the fence with tokens for gold. I also have, like you guys are familiar with my Gloomhaven playthroughs, I use little gold crystallized kind of tokens. I'll probably use something like that for gold instead of these. But you know, these are fine. They're great because you get something out of the box and stuff like that, but I'm sure you can upgrade your components if you feel. These ones though are specific. It looks like items. These are like, as you get these items, you actually hold on to them. They represent that you maybe own them. This here, shield potions, stuff like that. These are the character cards. So if I'm not mistaken, these are your heroes. This is your first hero token, and these are your heroes you can be, some of them anyway. And the artwork's presented on them nicely. It's also presented on the back of each of them as well. So both sides, they're standees. So they sit kind of like this up on the table. And there's barrels on all of these. So I'm assuming they may even sit like this and maybe you flip them when you gain them. I'm not too sure, but we'll find out more about that later. Okay, so next one here is these look like poison. That's pretty simplistic, I think. Maps. We got nothing, so you can actually find nothing, which is terrible. You can find spyglasses and lanterns and tents and ale and blessings and shovels, ponies, all kinds of stuff like that. Traps, cloaks, all that good stuff. And there's a few more new new characters to pick, and you can see how incredible the artwork is on those guys as well. And then this one right here is a representation of Tristan Hall himself. That is supposed to be his kind of mock hero of him. And here we go. This is, now you've gotten down to the meat of what's inside the box. So this came as a result of the Kickstarter campaign, was the ability to boost the component quality to tokens of a decent size and also make them wood. I really like this. So not only are these going to be handy not for just Gloom of Kilforth, but also for many other games. But you got some heart tokens there, right, to represent your heart. And when you're getting hit and things like that, that's good. Let's see what else is in here. These ones are black hearts, so exactly the same thing. Won't spend too much time on these ones, but same idea. Here's a bunch of black hearts. You got some things like black hearts there. You got some red ones. Let's see what else is in this bag. You got, these are a little smaller, these tokens. They almost kind of, they're like little hourglass, almost like time. So maybe that means you put these on when something, maybe it's a counter, I'm assuming. Maybe it's something that lasts only for a particular certain number of days and night cycles. Not too sure, but I'll find out in the gameplay, I'm sure. You've got these little discs, similar to what you guys are probably familiar with Robinson Crusoe. Kind of like a little disc they put on, is, I don't know what, could be for counters, could be for to represent allies, could be to represent anything, I don't know, we'll find out. And then this one is specific, this one looks like a cloud, so kind of tough to determine what the cloud one's for. It could be weather based, it could be, well, weather would make the most sense, could be something to do with thinking, could be something to do, I don't know, but very, very cool. I like the fact that he didn't just do white circles, red circles, black circles, blue circles, and keep it really simple. He actually put some effort into creating tokens that you can look at and actually understand a little bit of the meaning. And I'm taking jabs at them right now. I'm probably wrong, but hey, I mean, it's close. And then you got these guys here. So looks like a 3-leaf clover kind of deal. All right, so there you go. There's your tokens. You get a pack of 6 dice. They're actually good quality dice. They don't look cheap. They look great. These are just your standard D6 dice, but they're good ones. They're not anything low quality. They're nice rounded edged. They're very good. I don't see any issue with those ones. I like those. Those don't seem cheap to me. I really don't like it when games give you D6s, but then give you the cheapest D6s you've ever seen. So those ones at least are good quality. That makes me happy. You also, of course, get standees because your heroes need to be standing upright onto these particular platforms. So that's essentially it. He also includes 2 bags, which is really nice. That's always nice. That tells you right there that Tristan is a true gamer in himself and knows what the people want, and the people want extra baggies if they don't have them themselves already to be able to put stuff into. So that's awesome. We also get a dice bag. That's really cool. I don't know. I could be wrong. This could even be for cards, really. Maybe if you wanted to take some of the cards on the road. I don't know. It's pretty thin. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is probably for dice. And it may even be for tokens. Maybe the idea is to dump all your tokens in here too. But hey, it's a dice bag. Who doesn't want a dice bag? So that's great. This is what's very interesting. Now we get into the meat of things. This is when we talk about the cards. So there's 4 decks of gigantic cards. You can see there, 4 decks of them. Look at that. Lots and lots of cards. All right, that kind of gives me that Lord of the Rings kind of feel. In terms of the, not in terms of the art, but in terms of the, this is a witch though. I guess there's not many witches in Lord of the Rings. All right, and not too many anyway. Here's some really cool smaller sized cards that I'm assuming represent probably people you run into, NPC-ish type characters, probably monsters as well, things like that. So you got a little deck, I shouldn't say little, it's a decent sized deck of those types of cards. So what we'll do is I'm going to try my best off screen here to cut into these without slicing my finger off, and we're going to try to go through them. I don't know how many of these I can show you with the limited time that we have. I could do another video where we go through each of these individually, but we'll just go through these one at a time. So there is, there's one. Oh, that's pretty cool. But you can see this artwork is no joke. Like, it is very, very nice. These look like these are the heroes to me. And it looks like there's different numbers at the top. So I think what that's representing is their leveling. As they get stronger, it's giving them extra actions. But incredible artwork though. You can see that this, like, when you look at this is insane because somebody has created these characters and brought this game to life. I can't imagine how excited Tristan was when he saw this artwork up close and personal and was able to go, wow, like, this is my game that I envisioned in my head, and here we go. Now it is in card form, but with this type of visual representation is insane. I can tell you right now, but the artist, and I'll do a really bad job mentioning her last name. Her name is Anna. You can find her even on Board Game Geek. She's linked in as the artist. I'm sure she's even mentioned in the rule book of this as well. I'm not going to mention her last name because, like I said, I'll butcher it badly. But she is going to have people knocking on her door after this one. I can tell you that right now. She's going to have people knocking on her door. If she hasn't to this point, this is one of those games that's going to get her some serious notoriety in terms of the her ability as an artist, because she's put together some incredible take a look at these cards. I'll just stop talking and we will take a look and so you can see it for yourself. Let's see if I can get this to focus. So there's your witch, really happy. There's a black orc. Like, you got to be kidding. This is the type of art that you could literally probably just look at. You could instead of playing the game itself, you could just sit there and stare at the cards. But incredible stuff. Like, amazing stuff. Like, look at that. That is so lifelike, and it's wild. It's wild. I can't do it justice with words, to be honest. You have to see this stuff in front of you. Okay, so here we go. We're getting to the locations. This is where they kind of start going sideways. So yeah, I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but you've got different. That's pretty cool. Wow, Dark Mire, jeez, just craziness. The swamp. So that gives you a good indication of some of them from that deck. I'll stop with that one now because we won't be able to go through every single one of them. You guys will end up seeing them as I play through the game. I want to just cut into some of these and give you an idea as to what, how the game looks, because it's a card game. And when it comes down to it, if you buy a board game where there's a big, gigantic center board, like something like Scythe, for instance, or something like that, right? You're really excited to play that out and look at the art and go, this looks really incredible down the table. When you buy a card game, you're really hoping that not only is the gameplay good, because at the end of the day, you're not going to continue to play a game that isn't good, even if the artwork is incredible. So at the end of the day, the gameplay is gonna take precedence over the art. But I can tell you, as a first impression, having artwork that looks like this does not hurt you. If anything, it's going to draw people. Like, you put this game on the table, it is going to have people come over and go, wow, that looks incredible. I know for a fact, if I had seen this, if I'd have been able to go to the UK Games Expo and I saw this on the table, my jaw would have been on the floor. I just know it would. It's crazy. And I plan to go through every single one of these cards and just stare at them for like probably days on end and try to pick out every little minor detail that's in them, because it's not like she created artwork and then just as a placeholder. She went to a level of depth where, like, when you look into the eyes of these characters, you feel like they're actually alive. And like, look at that, the Black Castle, crazy. Like, look at that stuff. This is insane. Mind-blowing stuff. Just an incredible. And so again, we're getting to things that I'm not too sure what these are. These are places, I guess. I don't know if there's anything on the back. Oh, there is stuff on the back. So there's, these are plot cards. So we're getting to certain parts of the game that I'm not too familiar with. So we're going to skip over that. And there's, of course, more locations and stuff like that. And then it gets back to more of the cards themselves. But anyway, I'm doing a really quick. Whew, look at that guy. He's not happy. It's just incredible. To me, you know what? I look at it and I kind of get this, like, the coolest thing about it is I get this kind of, and it's not on the characters more so than anything else. It's more so the visual representation of the buildings and the era and all that kind of stuff. I just get this. I get this like feeling of like Game of Thrones type vibe, but not from the characters or they seem very unique. Like there's no parallel, there's no similarity there. When I say Game of Thrones, I'm saying simply when I look at something like the Black Castle, or I look at something that's like a large structure, I just get this vibe of like this world that's already been flushed out. And the crazy thing is, when you open up a deck of cards and you look, it's not very rare or very often you can look at cards like this and open them up and go, I'm already lost in this world. Like, I already feel a part of it. And I think that's exactly why Tristan hired this artist, was because he had a game that he had designed for 10 years, and he said, I need this thing to pop. I need this thing to pull people in so that they're going to want to, explore this world. All right, sorry guys, I'm having a little bit of trouble on this other one here. Now, I'm not going to be able to get to all of them because my video is running out of time. So I'm going to quickly show you this deck right here, really quick, and then I'm going to end it, and I'm going to show you more in an upcoming solo playthrough for the game. We'll go through the solo setup, we'll also go through some gameplay, and I will get into all the ins and outs of this thing. We're going to play this thing to pieces, and it's going to be similar to how Too Many Bones has been structured. I'm going to be asking for your guys, I'm going to be asking similarly for your guys' feedback on what we should do next in the campaign, and that's going to be the fun part. Of course, I'll be making my own mind up most of the time on some things, but I'll be asking you at a certain juncture what we should do next and where we should go and all that wonderful stuff. So, this has been the unboxing of Gloom of Kilforth. I really hope you guys enjoy it. If this artwork doesn't draw you in or interest you, you might be dead. But we now have to check out the gameplay in order to see if the gameplay holds its own to the incredible art that is in this box. But anyway, that's the end of this unboxing. Thanks again for watching, and keep on rolling solo.